Hello everybody, my name is Ben, and today I'm going to do a deck tag for my other deck. I have Mono Blue Teferi, and now I also have Mono Black Kalitas. Kalitas is a 3/4, he has lifelink, and he costs 2 double black. He has, if a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, instead exile that card and put a 2/2 black zombie token creature onto the battlefield. And he has 2 in a black, sacrifice a number zombie or vampire, put 2 1/1 counters on him. So, you're going to see my deck revolves a lot around graveyards, mostly putting creatures in my opponent's graveyards. Now, you would think with Kalitas that would kind of shut that off, but in reality, Kalitas is just kind of there most of the time. Like, I have games where I win and he's not even on the board. So, he's there, he's good, but he's not always necessary, to say the least. Like, I have him, he's a beat stick. That's really all he does, is he beats things down. So, anyway, let's move into the meat of the deck. The lands that I'm running 26 swamps and 7 non-basic lands. Among those swamps, I have a unhinged swamp with the John Avon art that's really sweet. I have a signed Mark Poole swamp, which was pretty sweet. I actually went to the GP back in March and got him to sign it, so that was pretty cool. And nearly all the swamps in my deck are foil as well. I have one of the Amikent full art swamps here, which was really sweet. So let me show the non-basics that I have, which are Blighted Fen, for the people that play Narset. Ghost Quarter, for anything that's really annoying. A lot of times I find that I haven't used it, but you know what, it's good to be there. It's a deterrent. Well-Aquaria Tower, no max hand size. It's very helpful. Temple of Volscad, for when you got a ramp. Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. Everything's a swamp. What's not to like? Bajukabok, because you can't have enough graveyard hate in black. And Westvale Abbey, for when you want to turn a land into a 9/7 creature. So this deck is it's a lot of fun. I like it a lot. Runs a lot of basics. I mean, I've played games where someone pops down a Blood Moon, and I'm just like, oh, okay, let me just sit over here with my swamps. I won't worry about anything at all. Anyway, let's see here. I do run some Planeswalkers. 2 of them are Ob Nicholas. One of them is Black Oath, so he's a 3 loyalty Planeswalker for 5. And his +2 is each opponent loses 1 life. I gain 1 life I gain life equal to the number or the amount of life that was lost this way. His -2 is I can put a 5/5 black demon creature token while flying onto the battlefield. I lose 2 life. And his -8 is I get an emblem with pay 1 of the black, sacrifice a creature. I gain X life and draw X cards, where X is a sacrifice creature's power. So yeah, he's a Planeswalker. He's cool. Whatever. Let's see, I also have the foiled out Ob Nicholas Reignited. His +1 is draw a card, you lose a life. His -3 is destroy target creature, and his -8 is target opponent gets an emblem with whenever a player draws a card, you lose 2 life. He's really sweet. And this third Planeswalker is actually a recent addition. I'm really proud of it. It's Soren Markov. It's 3 triple black, and he's 4 loyalty. His +2 is Soren Markov deals 2 damage to target creature or player, and I gain 2 life. Or his -3 is target opponent's life total becomes 10, and his -7 is you control target player's next turn. I still have to trade for this guy, but the person who has given this to me. I'm very appreciative of the fact that they've done that. This card's really sweet. And, yeah, I'm really glad that I got him in there. I haven't really played him in a game yet, but he's definitely a thing. So, let's move on to my creatures. I run 25 creatures, and my first creature that I have here is Walking Ballista. And it's actually a pre-release promo. Funny story about this is when I opened it, I was like, oh, that's my promo. Okay. It's a 50-cent rare. And then I come to find out it's like a $20 must-have 4 copies of cards. So, yeah, that's pretty sweet. But anyway, it's a 0/0 for XX, and it enters the battlefield with X11 counters on it. You can pay 4, put a 1/1 counter on it, or you can remove a 1/1 counter from it, and it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. So I run this instead of the Triskelion combo. And a lot of people are like, why would you do that? It's not as good. You have to kill it somehow, right? And yeah, that's kind of the whole point. I don't like the Triskelion combo with Machias. It's good, but it's also just, I don't know. This requires a little bit more work to get it to do stuff, so I like it. It's more my play style. It's kind of the same reason why Leovold's been banned. Nobody likes Leovold. Nobody. Except for the people playing him. But that's a whole other story. Anyway, next creature is Silgar's Assassin. It's a 2/1, and you can Megamorph him. So you can morph him on the field for 3, and then you can pay 2 in a black, flip him over. When you do, you can destroy a creature with power 3 or less than opponent controls. So, yeah, I like him. You just turn him over, make him into a 3/2, and blow stuff up, and he's got, like, semi-prowl, so pretty cool. Next I have Vengeful Pharaoh. Vengeful Pharaoh is a 5/4 zombie that has Death Touch, and whenever combat damage is dealt to you or a planeswalker I control, if he's in my graveyard, destroy target attacking creature, then put Vengeful Pharaoh on top of my library. Really good. Really good. Solemn Simulacrum is 4 for a 2/2. That when he enters battlefield, search my library for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tap, shuffle, and then when he dies, draw a card. That's not the like. Next I have Cryptghast. It's 3 in a black for a 2/2 spirit that has Extort. Whenever you tap a swamp for mana, add black to your mana pool. Doubles my mana. Blood Gift Demon is 3 in double black for a 5/4 that has flying. And at the beginning of your upkeep, target player draws a card and you lose 1 life. And loses 1 life. It's Phyrexian Arena on a stick. Foiled Lord of the Void is 4 triple black for a 7/7 demon that has flying. When Lord of the Void deals combat damage to a player, exile the top 7 cards of that player's library, then put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield under your control. Really good. Next I have Ghoulcaller Gissa. She's 3/4 for 3 in double black, and she has pay a black, sacrifice another creature, put X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens onto the battlefield. X is a sacrifice creature's power. Really good. Sidisi Undead Visor, Zombie Naga with Death Touch and X-Play. When Sidisi Undead Visor enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a card. If you do, put that in your hand, then shuffle your library. That's if you exploit a creature. Most of the time you're going to exploit it. Let's see. Liliana Heretical Healer is a 2/3 human that's 1 in double black. She has lifelink. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, exile her, put her return to the battlefield transformed with a 2/2 black zombie token creature on the battlefield. So she flips into a planeswalker, so technically I'm running 4 planeswalkers. And let's see here, her uptick is +2. Each player discards a card. Her -X is return target non-legendary card with converted mana cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield, and her -8 is you get an emblem with whenever another creature dies, return it to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. So yeah, she's cool. I like her. I flipped her a couple times, and then most of the time people are just killing her, and then I throw her in my graveyard, and then I bring her back later. So yeah, it's funny. It's nice to have a planeswalker in your graveyard that's also a creature, I guess. Let's see. Ob Nicholas Unshackled is a 4/4 demon for 4 double black. He's got Flying and Trample. Whenever an opponent searches his or her library, player sacrifices a creature and loses 10 life. And whenever another creature dies, put a 1/1 counter on Omniculus Unshackled. Yep, he's good. Magus of the Well is 2 and a black for a 3/3 human that has, 2 and a black. Tap him, exile Magus of the Well. Until the end of the turn, you may play cards from your graveyard. If a card will be put in your graveyard from anywhere this turn, exile that card instead. So it's Yawgmoth's Well on a stick. It's slow, it's not as good, but what the hell. I gotta have a little bit of jank in my decks, you know. Mind Rack Demon is a 4/5 demon for 2 and double black. It has Flying, Trample. When it enters battlefield, put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard. In Delirium at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 4 life unless there are 4 more card types in your graveyard. It's pretty good. It's 4/5 beater. And now we're going to go to one of my favorite creatures. It's Demon of Dark Schemes. He's 3 triple black for a 5/5 flyer. That says that when he enters battlefield, all other creatures get -2/-2 at the end of the turn. When another creature dies, I get an energy. And I can pay 2 and a black and 4 energy, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under my control. So, I've had a couple games where he's out on the field, he'll kill a bunch of stuff, and then someone will kill him and throw him in my graveyard. And then I had one game where I was looking at everybody's graveyard, and everybody had like a 2/1 or 2/2 or 3/2 or something like that in their graveyard. And I was like, oh, okay, my Demon of Dark Schemes is in my graveyard. Why don't I play Exhume? So I play Exhume, everybody grabs their creatures back, and then I put Demon of Dark Schemes out and kill them all again. So yeah, Demon of Dark Schemes is, I would say don't underestimate the -2/-2 effect that he has. It's very powerful. Gets rid of lots of small things, especially if someone's got like a token army out or anything like that. You know, it's really good. Speaking of good, I also have Grey Merchant of Asphodel. It's a 2/4 zombie that when he enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, where X is your devotion to black. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. So you're playing a multiplayer game and you got a lot of blackout, throw him on the board and you do some damage and you gain some life. Let's see. Next I have a Japanese promo, Sheldred the Whispering One. He's a 6/6 that has Swamp Walk, and at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, they have to sacrifice a creature, and then at the beginning of my upkeep, I may return a creature from my graveyard to the battlefield. Really good. I was actually really happy to pick that up. I got that at the GP when I went to Orlando. The guy wanted to sell me an English one that was kind of bent and not a promo, and he wanted more for it, so I talked him down, got that for about $13, so that was pretty sweet. Next I have a Chinese Grave Titan, 6/6, has Death Touch, and when it enters the battlefield or attacks, I may put 2/2 black zombie creature tokens onto the battlefield. Really good. Next I have Erebos, Gone to the Dead. It is a 5/7 that's indestructible as long as my devotion is less than 5. Erebos isn't a creature. Your opponents can't gain life, and I can pay 1 and a black and 2 life, draw a card. It's pretty good. Butcher of Malakir is a 5/4 vampire warrior that has flying. Whenever Butcher of Malakir or another creature you control dies, each opponent sacrifices a creature. So it's Dictate and Grave Pact on a stick. It's really good. Blood Artist is a 0/1 vampire for 1 and a black, and it has whenever another creature dies, target player loses 1 life and I gain 1 life. Very powerful. Do not underestimate that card. Kozilek of the Great Distortion is 8 and double colorless, or double waste rather, whatever that symbol is that you want to call it. When you cast Cosmic Degree Distortion. If you have fewer than 7 cards in your hand, draw cards equal to the difference. He is a 12/12, has Menace, and you may discard a card with converted mana cost X, counter target spell with converted mana cost X. Really good. Machias the Unhallowed is 3 triple black for a 5/5 zombie cleric. It has Intimidate, and whenever a human deals damage to you, destroy it. Other non-human creatures you control get +1/+1 and have Undying. Really good. And let's see, Ulamog the Infinite Gyre is when you cast him, you may destroy target permanent. He's indestructible. He has Annihilator 4. When he is put into a graveyard from anywhere, shuffle its owner shuffles his or her graveyard, his or her library. And he's foil. I picked him up back when his price was dropping, so he's slightly gone up. I think he's back up to like $23. So yeah, pretty good. Next I have a foil Carrion Feeder that is, he's a 1/1 zombie. He can't block, and you may sacrifice a creature and put a 1/1 counter on him. It's not to like. And finally I have Noxious Gearhulk. It's 5/4, has Menace, and when it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature. I gain life equal to the, I think it's the toughness of the creature that was destroyed this way. But yeah, there's that. Next are my artifacts and enchantments. I run 13 artifacts and 5 enchantments. And first one is Lightning Greaves. Pay 2, equip 0, haste, and shroud. Next is Hedron Archive. It is 4 for an artifact that taps for 2 colorless, and you can pay 2 to sacrifice it and draw 2 cards. It's very good. Cage Sun is 6 for an artifact that says that as it enters battlefield, choose a color. Creatures you control the chosen color get +1/+1 whenever it lands. Ability adds 1 or more mana of the chosen color to your mana pool. Add 1 additional mana of that color to your mana pool. So basically I choose black, and Swamp's tap for double. Nevral's Disc is 4 for an artifact that enters battlefield tapped, and you may pay 1 and tap it, destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. For the things that you can't deal with in black. Expedition Map is 1 for a artifact that says 2. Tap, sacrifice it, search your library for a land card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. For those times when you really need a land. Whip of Erebos is 2 double black for an enchantment artifact that says creatures you control have lifelink, and you can pay 2 and a black, double black. Tap it, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste, exile at the beginning of the next end step. If it would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. Activate this only anytime you could activate a sorcery. Pretty good. Good old Soul Ring is 1 for an artifact that taps for 2. Let's see, Wayfarer's Bauble is an artifact. It's 1, and you may pay 2, sacrifice it, search your library for a basic land card, and put it onto the battlefield tapped, and shuffle your library. Colorless land ramp. Ashnod's Altar is 3 for an artifact that says sacrifice a creature, add double waste to your mana pool, or 2. Sword of the Animus is 2 for an artifact that says it's an equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 whenever equipped creature attacks. You may search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and shuffle your library, and it costs 2 to equip. More colorless land ramp. Altar of Dementia is an artifact that costs 2, and it says sacrifice a creature. Target player puts a number of cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power from the top of his or her library into his or her graveyard. For when milling is an option. Tormod's Crypt is, it costs 0, you tap it, and you exile someone's graveyard. For those times when you really just need to get rid of someone's graveyard. Eldrazi Monument is 5 for creatures you control get +1/+1, have flying and indestructible. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a creature. If you can't, sacrifice Eldrazi Monument. when you're not winning hard enough, basically. Next, on to my enchantments. I've got Underworld Dreams. It's triple black for whenever an opponent draws a card, Underworld Dreams deals 1 damage to him or her. Really good. It just sits on the battlefield and pings everybody each turn. Dictative Erebos is 3 for 3 and double black and has flash. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent sacrifices a creature. So it's great pack with flash. It's not that like Heartless Summoning is 1 and a black for an enchantment that says, and creature spells I cast cost 2 colorless less to cast, and creatures I control get -1/-1. Yeah. Necropotence is an enchantment, and it costs 3 triple black, and it says you skip your draw step. Whenever you discard a card, exile that card from your graveyard. Yeah. And, let's see, pay 1 life, exile top card from your library face down, put that card into your hand at the beginning of the next end step. Yep. And Phyrexian Reclamation is 1 black for an enchantment that says pay 1 in a black and 2 life, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. It's really good. Very nifty. Especially when you're playing Kalitas. Oh, you blew up my commander? Let me throw him in the graveyard. And then I'll just bring him back and play him for 4 again. Let's see. Next, we're going to move on to my non-creature spells. I'm running 20 of those. So, first spell is Grim Return. It's an instant. Choose target creature card in the graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn. Put that card on the battlefield under your control. Beseech the Queen is a sorcery, and it costs either 2 color, or you can either pay triple black for it, or you can pay 6 colorless, and it says search your library for a card with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of lands you control, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Ever After is 4, double black. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Each of those creatures is a black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. Put Ever After on the bottom of its owner's library. Ashes to Ashes is sorcery. It's 1 double black. Ashes to Ashes removes 2 target non-artifact creatures from the game and deals 5 damage to you. Love this card. Absolutely love this. I'm also running Dark Petition in this deck, so if I have Spell Mastery, I'd add the 3 to my mana pool, search this up, and get rid of 2 things I do not like. Let's see, Black Sun Zenith is X, double black for a sorcery that says put X -1/-1 counters on each creature, shuffle Black Sun Zenith into its owner's library. It's good. Exhume is 1 and a black for a sorcery. Each player chooses a creature card in his or her graveyard and puts it into play. Yep. Alrighty. Next we've got Toxic Deluge, which is a sorcery, costs 2 and a black, and as an additional cost to cast it, pay X life. All creatures get -6/-6 until the end of the turn. Really good, especially in a draft. That's actually where I got it. Someone passed it to me, and I was like, are you kidding me? Let's see, Damnation is 2 and double black for a sorcery that says destroy all creatures, they can't be regenerated. And it's Planar Chaos, not the Modern Masters version, so yeah. Funny thing, someone gave this to me as a birthday present, so yeah, it was pretty sweet. Let's see, Hero's Downfall is 1 double black for an instant that says destroy target creature or planeswalker. For those times when you really just want to get it gone. Crux of Fate is 3 double black, choose 1, destroy all dragon creatures or destroy all non-dragon creatures. The only time that this really isn't good is when you're playing against Prosh. Phyrexian Arena is 1 and double black. It's an enchantment at the beginning of your upkeep. You draw a card and lose 1 life. It's pretty good. Tragic Slip is 1 black for an instant that says target creature gets -1/-1 until the end of the turn, or Morbid, it gets -13/-13 until the end of the turn if a creature died. Gets around indestructible. That's what it's there for. And we got Dark Petition, which I just talked about. It's 3 double black. Search your library for a card, put that card in your hand, then shuffle your library. And has Spell Mastery. If you have 2 or more instant and or sorceries in your graveyard, add triple black to your mana pool. Let's see, Dark Ritual is 1 black, and it's instant, and it says add triple black to your mana pool. It's mana ramp. Promise of Power is 2 triple black for a sorcery. Choose one. You draw 5 cards and lose 5 life, or put a black demon creature token with flying into play where its power and toughness is equal to the number of cards in your hand, and you can pay 4 to entwine it. Really good, especially later in the game. Rise of the Dark Realm is 7 double black for a sorcery. Put all creature cards from graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. I've resolved this a few times. That's really good. Silence the Believers is 2 double black, and it says that you can strive, so you can pay 2 and a black more for each target beyond the first, and it says exile any number of target creatures and all auras attached to them. For those times when you really just need to get rid of it. And Increasing Ambition is a sorcery for 4 and a black. Search your library for a card, put that card into your hand. Increasing Ambition was cast from your graveyard instead. Search your library for 2 cards, and put those cards into your hand, then shuffle your library. So you pay 5 for the first time, and then you pay 8, so 7 and a black for the flashback cost. And you put 3 cards in your hand if you got the mana. Buried Alive, this is a sorcery, it's 2 and a black. Search your library for up to 3 creature cards, put them into your graveyard, then shuffle your library. Love this card. I had a game where I turn 1, played a swamp, played Dark Ritual, then I played Buried Alive, put Kozilek, Mikaeus, and Vengeful Pharaoh in my graveyard, and then on turn 2 I played another swamp, played Exhume, and had Kozilek out. And, yeah. Anyway, last card, Vampiric Tutor. It's 1 black for an instant, search your library for a card, then shuffle your library and put that card on top of it, you lose 2 life. I got this out of the second pack of Eternal Masters that were bought, so, yeah, that's why I got it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. You know, like, comment, subscribe. Channel's growing, and yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of free time on my hand now. So, if you would share it with your friends, comment, like it, that'd be great. Thanks, guys. Bye.